What's up, everybody? We're here with another Take a Peek episode. So this time we're going to open the box and take a peek at Postmaster. So Postmaster is a casual indie simulation game where you take control of a post office, and your objective is to be basically to get a monopoly and to be the best post office you can be. So let's go ahead and jump in. And I'll explain exactly how this works. It's a very simple game. Obviously, you have your own player. That's me. Bugs me that I can't use the tab button to go from player to company name. Terranitis. Sure, we'll be Terranitis. There are quite a few pictures. They're fairly interesting. But we're gonna go with that one for now. And there are very limited colors for vehicle paint. I wish you could do more with that, but ultimately, you're not really going to see your vehicle paint. It's really not that important. So, we're gonna have a green vehicle with a red logo. Alright, let's start the game paused. So this... There we go. This is the post office right here. So you can see your post offices by this little window where your icon is. It's actually in this building. But what building it in doesn't matter as much as where it is. This is not the best starting location, but we can make it work. So right away, you can see the city. Pretty straightforward. It's a city. Really, it's a small town. And you're the only post office in this town. There's some construction happening out here. As the city grows and develops, it'll allow you to increase how many people you have access to and help increase your overall business for your post office. So down here is always a residential city. This is where pretty much everybody lives, whereas up there is apartments and businesses. But you also see some industrial manufacturing down here, some high-tech industry, and obviously more construction. Residential is usually a pretty good place as well, but it's not always as lucrative because the density is lower. But eventually, I want to move down here, you want to move down here, and you want to make sure that you cover as much of the map as you can. Then there's the third city over here, which is where your competitor is. Your competitor always starts to the right of you. It's the same starting locations every time. The cities are randomly generated, but the starting locations are the same, and what's in each city roughly is the same. But what happens, where stuff grows, how big the city starts, that's more or less procedurally generated right off the bat. So all I can see is this is where my competitor is. I can't see how big their post office is. I can't see where the routes are, what they've done. All I know is that they exist in this city somewhere, and well, they exist right there, but that they're here, and that's their city, whereas this is our city up here. So the days of the weeks are here. Obviously, 5 working days, 2 weekends, no mail on the weekends, but 5 working days where we do mail. You can jump straight into the post office, which is what we need to do right off the bat. You can click on some staff, hire some staff to take the mail, so we'll get that dude. And then we'll get some staff to do some sorting of the mail. So the mail comes in, gets sorted by this guy, and then gets carried out by vehicles and delivered. You also need your security. Obviously, you can see your price right here in accordance with your money. Pretty straightforward. Your security is absolutely vital. Robberies happen in this game occasionally. It doesn't happen by other post offices. That would be interesting. They're random events that happen, and having your security staff makes robbing essentially completely no problem. You can actually make it profitable for you. You can look at post office information. There's nothing to really look at right now, but it says everything all your running costs, all your fixed costs, everything you need to know to run your post office. Over here is the garage. So in the garage, obviously we have Car service, which we want to have, so let's just unlock that right away. It unlocks for 1 bonus star. We have 5 right now. You get these as you progress through the game. That also takes $1,000 to build, so let's go ahead and build it. And requires 10 maintenance. Pretty straightforward, but doing this will actually save you money when it comes to car repairs. So you have 8 vehicles. This is a medium-sized office, so we're looking at 8 vehicles in this. Small office is 5, and a large has all 12. So let's go ahead and buy a vehicle right off the bat. So you start with a little bicycle. You can stick with your bicycles, or you can upgrade through different variations of different vehicles. Each have their own ups and downs, and they can get pretty expensive here. As you can see, 50 bonus stars, $24,000. It's quite a bit. We're just going to start with motorbikes. So unlock that, buy a motorbike right away. So before we start using this motorbike, we're going to need a couple of these. Alright, so we have some motorbikes. We might need some more. We need at least 1 more. So we have 5 motorbikes. That's a pretty good start. Before we can actually use these vehicles, though, we actually need to set up how to do our mail service. Now, the most efficient way I've found is to use post boxes, and you may as well start with the biggest one because you're going to be using them anyways. So, buy post boxes, put them on every street corner. Every single street corner. That's how you maximize the amount of mail you're going to get and the ease of transporting mail for your vehicles is to have a post box on every corner. So they're the most expensive at $310, but ultimately it's worth it later in the game just to already have that set up. So in this menu, you can actually see what business you're going to get from each individual block. So this is broken down into packets, mail, and postcards, with your post box capacity being over here. So, for example, there are 26 packages, 34 mails, and 6 postcards that need to be serviced in this area. Whereas over here, we've got 19, 85, 18. So this is very heavy mail over here compared to the good amount of packages we can transport over here. The mail is mostly going to end up here in the post boxes to be picked up, brought back to your mail office, and then transported out to wherever it needs to go within the city. Right now, I can only transport mail within the city, so even though it would be easier for the citizens of the city to just drive over and tell them what they need to tell them, or just do it in person, they hire a mail service to do it instead. So I'm thankful for that. But I can only service this area, this highlighted area. That's it. Once I get more post offices and more vehicles, I can service a larger area, depending on what post office I get. Medium is 2 blocks out, small is 1 block out, and large is 3 blocks out. So if I started with large, I'd be able to service these 4 and this one as well. But unfortunately, you always start with a medium. You always start with a medium, so just something to deal with. These green things are parks. They are completely worthless. They're crap tiles for you, but they exist in the cities, and you have to plan around them accordingly. Alright, so we've our post boxes placed. So now let's go ahead and look at how to actually use these post boxes. So first off, we need to change the vehicle type of the vehicle we purchased. The other option is to sell. So let's change the vehicle type, and the first thing we need is a priority delivery. This is not absolutely necessary, but early in the game, priority delivery is very nice. Later in the game, it really doesn't mean much. So let's also jump in and we'll do postbox collectors and then some letter delivery as well. So we need to tell the postbox collectors, or the vehicle, this applies for everyone, what to do. So we're going to tell them to instantly go around to all the post boxes while they're on duty and to constantly pick up mail from 8 a.m. to 16 p.m. or 0800 to 1600, if you will. We're going to tell everyone to do it instantly. That means for these guys, deliver mail instantly. Pretty easy. Then we need to tell them where to work. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's as far as the vehicle can go. You can see path 6 of 6. That is as far as I can go. It has 6 spots it can do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't need overlap. So we actually need one more motorbike. We'll tell this motorbike to be a postbox collector, to go instantly, and to add a path. It'll just do these 3. No need for overlap right now, which means we need one more. Oop, we need one more for letter delivery. So the other options in here are to do your packet deliveries, or to transfer mail from one post office to another, which ends up being fairly lucrative when you do intercity trade. So now we need to deliver letters in the same fashion that we dropped, or the same fashion we're picking up, we need to drop off letters. So finish it off here. It does not matter what order you click them in. The AI will figure out the best path possible. So you can see I have one spot left over. I'll just go ahead and buy the vehicle now, because it's just sitting in the garage is not going to cost me anything. So further explaining these stats real quick, I kind of glazed over them, but you can see 100 kilograms is how much it can hold, how much you can carry with it. 8 is its speed, 4 is its fuel consumption, 6 is how far it can go, so that's the path, 6 of 6 that I was showing you guys. That's as far as it can travel. It costs $2,000 to buy and 3 stars to unlock. Upgrading to, say, standard van, you can see it's a little bit slower, consumes more fuel, but it goes really far in comparison to the motorbike, and costs a lot more money and a lot more stars to unlock. So I'm just going to tell this guy to do a packet delivery. And we're going to do it instantly, and I need to find places that have a high amount of packages. So 21, that's a good one. 30, definitely. 19, 26. Got another one over here. That's a 39. Oh man, we got 20 over here. So people can come into the post office, they can drop off packages, and I will deliver them to these locations. So I've already filled up the garage. Post office is ready to go. All that's left is to make sure our prices are set. So you can actually set all of your prices as you want to in the game. Changing your prices changes how well you interact with your competitor. So if your competitor comes into your city, you want to make sure your prices are competitive to the point where you can still make money, but you also want to be able to have an iron grip on your city and push your competitor out by any means necessary, except by going all the way down to 1. Doing so is completely pointless. So obviously you can see packets are worth way more than postcards or letters, but there are much fewer packets. So that's why I'm doing limited packet delivery, because I still want to get some cash, but it's not a priority for me. So store the prices. Those are the new prices that are set for the mail service. We can also link post offices, like I mentioned earlier. If I were to have another post office, I can link them up and do a post transfer. Elsewhere, you can see manage post offices, which is just looking at where your post offices are. Pretty straightforward. But this is also useful. The game hasn't started yet, so it doesn't show anything. You can also use manage post offices to go buy a post office. So going over here, I can't see where their post office is, but once I start the game, I can use this button to start buying post offices, which costs a great deal of money, in the tens of thousands for each post office. But obviously doing so will earn me more money in the long run. Having overlap on post offices is not necessarily a bad thing. Placed strategically, it can be very helpful. You can advertise in the game, so this costs money and stars, and it'll give you a yield upgrade percent for a week. Obviously, the more money you put forth, the more percentage the more yield you get, the more people will do business with your company. You know, I'll have 10% more business if I do a TV radio ad, whereas 3% if I put out leaflets. Really no point to continue in that fashion right now because I only have 1 star. That'll go up soon though. You can also look at your competition statistics. So this is faults, so how many issues you're having in what areas, coverage, delivery time, your prices, post queue, your post box, and what your competitor's doing to you. You can also see how much you've delivered and how many stars you've gotten compared to your competitor. More in-depth statistics, you can just look at everything that applies to the game. For the most part, this screen is utterly worthless. And then missions. This is where you get your bonus stars. So buy 3 vehicles, get 3 bonus stars. Let's pick that up right now. Got 3 bonus stars. Woo! You can also see hire 5 workers to get 3 bonus stars. Various things will get you various amounts of bonus stars. And if you have 100 bonus stars on your account, then you can enable the 3rd city to grow. Technically, this is the 3rd city. And it always is growing, but you can make it like really grow if you have 100 bonus stars. That's very, very late game though, so it's not really something to worry about. So now that we have 4 bonus stars, we can go into advertise, do a TV radio, place the advertisement, and on day 8, we will have to do a fresh radio ad. So in the meantime, let's go ahead, hire up some more people to deal with customers as they come in, have enough letter sorters. I'm just assuming we're gonna have some business. And then you can see all these locked icons. This is all stuff you can unlock just like with vehicles. So you can see they have a specific amount of bonus stars and their benefits change. But having these inside your post offices really do help. They make a world of difference, and ultimately they can make your business run a lot more smoothly. So let's put in a newspaper stand. Go ahead and buy that for 300. And it's a 2 morale bonus to people that come in. This is a 3 morale bonus, but I just like newspaper stands. It doesn't really matter. I'll be able to put them all in eventually anyways. Let's go ahead and hit play. I'll start at normal speed. The day hasn't started yet. Let's actually pick up the speed a little bit. Alright, so I hired 5 workers, so I have 3 bonus stars. Awesome. So we can go into here, look for something that costs 3, and actually gives 5, an air conditioner. Go ahead and buy that. Now we have an AC unit. Beautiful. Alright, let's pick up the speed. Here we go. Okay. Now you can see your little dudes running around. You can see their color. But for the most part, it's not going to be anything that you can really pay much attention to. Most of the time, I pay attention to other things. Looking around at where I can put in new post offices. Still hasn't gotten far enough in the game yet. And just kind of looking at how I'm doing compared to my competitor. I'm going to assume my bikes will do their job, and they do. Obviously, you can see how much they're carrying, how much further they have on their pathing, and then what's the condition of the vehicle that they're using right now. And that condition will stay really high because of the car upgrade that's been put in here, the car service. So you can see people are right here. They're just the post office working away. It breaks down into 5 customers waiting in line, how many letters are waiting for the sorter, how many letters are waiting for delivery, and how many letters are waiting to be transferred to another post office. So again, if I had another post office, this number would be higher. So let's go ahead and speed up the game a little bit. When you go up to max speed, these will go away. The vehicles will still be working, but we'll no longer be able to look at the stats of the vehicles. You just see them zooming around. So as far as the complexity of the simulation goes, it's very basic, very simple. The game is $15 on Steam, and it's really... I don't know if it's worth $15. It's worth $5. To me, this game is worth $5. Okay. So like I was mentioning before, you can click on these different post offices, and you can buy them if you want. But they cost a certain amount of cash every time, and the cash changes based on how much they have access to, what the projected local business is going to be like. Again, you can see it in other cities. You can tell how big the post office is based off of how many floors they have. So this has 2. But if you go over here, you can see this one has 3. So this one I can actually turn into a large post office if I wanted to, but there's really no point because it overlaps with my medium. This one's also a large, but again, there's no point because there's nobody it's servicing. Most of them are large, and really you want to buy large. I could go over here and I could pick up a large one and cover almost this entire city, and that would be awesome. But truthfully, I won't have enough money to realistically build another post office for a couple days. Anyways, ultimately, I've explained, in the past 15-20 minutes or so, I've explained basically the entirety of this game in one go. You know, the clock ticks by, you wait for the days to go by, sometimes there's holidays, you get a mail rush before it, and then you don't work on the holiday. It is not a hard game. It's not a complex game. You saw I started playing the game on hard. The difficulty settings only change how much money you start with. So we completed another mission. This is the reputation mission. So people think we're pretty okay. So we get 3 bonus stars. Reputation goes up, you get more bonus stars. It stops at 10,000, but I've had it in close to the millions in reputation before. It's not hard to boost reputation as long as you do your job. And ultimately, the music in this game is very nice. It's calming. It's not anything that's spectacular, but it suits the game. It's well-designed music that fits the game very well, and I think that the people behind this game did a very good job. And ultimately, look at the genre of the game before you buy it. This game is a casual game. And it is very casual. It's very easy, laid back, and anyone can pick it up. Anyone can play it. If you're new to a simulation game, this is a good one to get yourself started. There's not much in the way of complexity. And like I said, there's not much in the way of difficulty. If you have never played a simulation game in your life and you want to start getting used to how this stuff works, looking at all the different statistics, you can jump into this game. It'll teach you how to play right away in a very similar fashion that I mentioned here. And it's a good tutorial. It's a good beginner's game. But for hardcore simulation fans, stay away from this game. You can do a lot more with $15 for different games. There are better choices. For newbies, definitely recommend it. This is a solid game. There are no bugs that I've found. It's very well tested, very well done. It's moderately fun. I've played the game for about 9 hours, including this Take a Peek episode here. 9 hours is not that bad for a $15 game. Especially for a $15 casual game for someone that does not play casual games very often. But it works out well. So, all that's left at this point is quite literally watching your dudes go around, watch your money tick upwards, finding a new post office to buy, and then buying that post office. So you'd think, well, I should expand to this city right away. Little tip and trick here. Find a spot in the city that you started in. You want to expand in your own city. So you can see this one right here is a small office right there. That's not a bad spot. You can see it expires day 4 at 11 in the morning. Or maybe 11 at night. It doesn't really specify. It expires day 4 at 11. But you can just use your cash, upgrade it. A medium office here would be a good start. It covers up all the way out through here, so it takes this whole chunk of the city and that becomes yours. It's a good spot for a starter post office, and this one's going to be very heavy on the packages already. You can see that. Packet 87, packet 57, 44, 54. So your packets are really going to be in this area. Go ahead and switch to medium. Let's go ahead and buy that. We have to be careful because we just spent almost all of our money. We'll go ahead and leave this. We're going to need a chain. Okay, so there's a priority package. You can see it's worth a couple $100 and a bonus star. And done. It's delivered. Just that easy. Well, we'll hire you, we'll hire you, we'll hire you. And then we'll set up a post transfer. Do an instant post transfer, and this I'll be able to show the link system here. So I can click on this transfer, click here, and this is actually two-way. It looks like a one-way arrow. It is a one-way arrow, but it actually works two-way. So the bike here will travel over here and deliver anything that needs to be delivered, and then pick up stuff that needs to be delivered and carry it back over. So I can still afford one more bike, and this bike will be a packet collector for now. Do it instantly. So I can almost service the entire area. Thanks to these two parks, I actually do need one more bike. But I could do a bicycle, I could do a motorbike, it doesn't really matter. So, well, up 10 workers, 5 more stars. Awesome. Oh, and we got another one. 10 vehicles, 5 more stars. So you can see the bonus stars are already piling up. Like I said, the game is very simple, very straightforward. People will still come into your post office. You can see I'm getting a whole bunch of stuff that needs to be transferred over here. And it's still giving me money, even though it's not necessarily an ideal situation for this post office. It's still doing a good job for me. Perhaps going smaller would have been a better option in the short run, but in the long run, a medium office is going to be the better choice. If you can get a large office in a new city, that's going to be your most lucrative for sure. Medium offices can get easily overwhelmed later in the game after your reputation has gone way up. But you can see we're just handling the small amount of business over here. No big deal, pretty easy. You know, this one's getting a whole lot of business, and that's good. So, I've pretty much showed everything at this point. And we are coming up on just about half an hour-ish. Which means this episode is pretty much over. Let's go ahead and go into day 3 here. See, it ticks away. It'll tick away to 1900, I believe, and then it'll start a new day. Tick, tick, tick. And new day. Starts at 7:30, and away we go. So you can see I have about $900 in operating costs right now, but that's not really a big deal. Not a problem. If you do run out of money, everything will run really slowly, and it gets really hard to dig yourself out of a hole, especially late in the game, because then everything starts piling up, and people get really frustrated. Your reputation takes a hit. So as long as you have money, you're going to be good to go. You can already see construction is happening over here. With this new post office, people are like, oh, hey, this is not a bad place to do construction. So they actually start building around your post office. It's pretty handy. So, let's see if we can purchase a new vehicle here. Wait for the cash to queue up. Looks like it's going to be a little bit of time. Let's look around. There's a priority. Can we get there in time? It's 400 bucks. Alright, we got it. 381 money. I'll take it. We'll do some packet collection. Whoops. Sorry. We'll do packet. Whoop. Crap. Crap. Packet delivery. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we'll be able to actually do some stuff ourselves, and the transfers that come over we can take care of. Still need to do some letter delivery, but packets are going to be the big thing over here for a while. And you can already see that I'm going to need a second motorbike to start filling in the gaps, and I'm going to need to reorganize my first 2 motorbikes to really fit all the new construction that's happening. Although this actually might be another park. That is a park. That's not, though. That park I'm not going to have to worry about. Let's jump into the garage. Buy that right away. The sound effects in this game are weird. They really are. They've been something that I've laughed at in the past, just because it's just like, where did you even get this sound effect, and what the fuck is it? But other than that, that's the only grievance I have about this game, honestly. It's a very small game, made by, I think, one person, and for what it is, it's done well, and I like it. Is it a game I'm going to make a series about? No. Is it a game that's particularly near and dear to my heart? Not really. But it's a good game, and it's a good quality of game. It's simple, it's easy, but it's a very good quality of game. Come on, let's get those packages delivered. So you can see what I mean. You run out of money, and everything starts piling up and going to crap until you get enough money coming in. Unless you can find a priority package. Not seen one. Yeah, I don't have any money, so nothing's happening. And that was my own bad, but it's exactly as I mentioned that would happen. Here we go. Okay, so 800 bucks. This will cover everything. We got the money back. They're not going to work too much today. Here we go. But in the future, they'll be able to work a lot more. There we go. See it getting real high here on the waiting for delivery, but the cash is just flowing right in now. Just like that. This is why you need your priority delivery ones right at the beginning. This little bike right here, it's already paid for itself in priority delivery and for keeping the business running. So definitely pick up priority delivery. Anyways, I'm jumping back and forth here. The game's pretty good, so check it out if you like what you see. Again, another what you see is what you get game. There's nothing more in depth here. There's nothing that I haven't shown. Pretty easy game to look at. Pretty simple graphics, all isometric. Not much in the way of the detail, unfortunately. I feel like you could do a lot with this game. But for what it is, it's a good job. It's well made, and I do recommend it. If you like sim games, if you're new to sim games, if you like just what you see, and in my girlfriend's case, if you like mail, pick up the game, try it out. I do recommend trying to pick it up on a sale. I think $15 is a little expensive, but I do understand the pricing. People have to make a living off of doing this stuff, so while I think the price is high, I also think that the price is fair. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this episode. Really no point. Oh, here we go. That's a holiday. One last thing. That's a holiday. So these first 2 days are going to be busy as crap. Mondays are also busy. So, not much left here to say, guys, other than, as always, thank you for watching. Whoop. And I will see you next time in another Take a Peek episode. Who knows what we'll be playing next time? Oh, here we go. Oh boy, it's getting busy. See you guys later. Thanks for watching. What'd I get? There we go. Delivery time.